From the Oklahoman Newsroom, this is an Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame update with Kyle Fredrickson. I'm Jenny Carlson. Kyle, our series of Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame inductees rolls along this week, and you drew Yojo, yeah. The legendary wrestler, Uetake, a lot of people know him as well, from Japan, won Olympic gold medals for Japan. So why is he going in the Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame?
Well, that's a good question. A guy who lives across the globe will be inducted this week into the Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame, alongside some very notable Oklahomans. But even though Yojo isn't a guy who can claim Oklahoma as his home, he's certainly its adopted son. A guy who went through 3 seasons in Stillwater on the wrestling team, an undefeated record, 58-0, 3 national titles. But beyond that, when you talk to some of his closest friends on both the wrestling team and the football team, he was just a lovable guy who absolutely just loved being in Oklahoma and what the role that Stillwater played in his life. Just some of the stories that I've heard about him recently. OSU at this time was coached back in the 60s by Phil Cutchin, who kind of ruled with an iron fist, didn't let anyone else into practice, but he'd let Yojo come in there because he was an example to his athletes of someone who really dominated his sport because of his personality and because it was kind of part of the Americanization of him, to allow him to witness these football practices and become more, enveloped in that Stillwater culture. Certainly made him a cowboy that, people will remember for a long time as someone that they're proud to call their own.
Yeah, I mean, Oklahoma State obviously, very proud of what he did. But, you think about a guy like Uetake coming from Japan, and now we see international athletes all over the college scene, from tennis to golf, even football. You get guys coming from overseas. But at the time Uetake came, that really wasn't the norm. I mean, he came into a foreign country as an international athlete at a time when that didn't happen a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. It's another interesting part of this story. The fact that they would openly accept him with such open arms, being that this is the '60s when we talk about international conflicts and things like that. But even to this day, for the past 40 years, he's made sure to come back once a year to Stillwater to see old friends and to be part of that community. So, and I think when people saw the success that Yojo had coming overseas, it probably sparked a lot of other people's interest in terms of recruiting and what kind of people that they could bring into their program and have success.
I'm not sure OSU, though, could ever bring in another international athlete as successful, as dominant as Yojo was.
Probably not.
All right, thanks, Kyle. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.